Guys, we need to talk
right now.
because we missed you.
We're back.
Indeed, we are. Welcome back to the Guest List podcast and welcome to season 2. If you're new here, my name is Sarah.
And I'm Jared. We're two best friends who love to talk about all things music, entertainment, and pop culture. And with this being our season premiere, we have so much to catch up on. So let's talk. So, Sarah, what were you up to over this break?
What was I up to? That's a really good question. I worked,
Real?
working late, even though I'm not a singer. Um, but I did see some singers over the break.
Ooh,
Um,
who'd you see?
Well, namely, I went to a couple of the shows on Jonah Murray's Young and Optimistic tour. And for those of you who think that Jonah sounds a bit familiar, not only is he a former member of Why Don't We, who I've talked about so many times on this podcast, but we also did a video series with Jonah when he dropped his EP, well, mixtape, the Jonah Murray mixtape. And you can find all those here on our YouTube page as well as over on our Instagram and our TikTok. In that video series, we spoke about the tour, and I know that Jonah was really excited. And based off the shows that I went to, I believe that it has been a smashing success. And it has been so much fun seeing all of my friends who have been to other shows in the cities that I didn't get to, and, seeing some of our team at the New York show, which was really, really awesome. And overall, it was a really amazing experience. And as a fan and someone who's worked with him, I'm really proud of him. And I think he only has one show left, his hometown show in Minnesota. So it's gonna be good, and I'm excited. And yeah, that was mainly my break. Other than, like I said, working and doing a bunch of stuff for Setlist. What about you, Jer? I know you've been a little busy, and you might have some news from our season finale back in July.
Yes, I do. I have some really fun news. If you guys remember on the season finale, we talked to Mr. Bode Beal, who is my cheer team's music producer. And we talked about the world of cheer music and how it affects cheerleading and all sorts of things. You can check that out. Watch for yourself. But our music that he was working so hard on at the time while we were talking to him is out now. And we will put a link down below so you can check
Absolutely.
it out and
Because
see what
it
the
is
finished product looks
everything.
like.
It is everything. I freaked, and I'm sure that you did too. What was that like when the team heard it? Obviously, we spoke about last year's mix kind of in that way, but was there, like, give me the whole rundown. I want to know everything.
Yeah, so basically what actually happened, usually we will gather around the speaker and we will all listen to it together, because it's just like, oh my God, let's hear our music, let's hear our music. Bode was basically just rushing to get our music done early, which he did not have to do. He's incredible. But he was like, oh my God, I told you I'd get it to you by tonight, even though it literally wasn't due for like another 2 weeks. And he was like, I'm downloading it now, da 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 da, all this stuff. So he sends it to Paige, or he's trying to send it to Paige. And we're like waiting by the speaker. It's like 5 minutes after practice. And then Paige was like, I guess we like might not get it tonight. So we'll just have to listen to it next practice. And so half the team rolls out. They're leaving. They're like, I'm all right. We'll listen to it next practice. No, me and a group of some other athletes, we said, absolutely not. I'm listening to this music now. So we were like chilling by the speaker. I was like, I don't care if I have to wait another half hour. Like, I'm going to listen to this music. And so it was like 5 or 6 of us, and we just chilled there until he sent it. Eventually he did. And then we were like, put it on the speaker and you better blast it, Paige, because nobody's in this gym right now. So we did that. We listened to the music. My jaw was on the floor the entire time. I
Oh,
literally was like, uh, and
real.
and it's just incredible the way that like he mixes the beats to match perfectly with the words and the rhythm of everything. And if you know cheer music, you know that there's sometimes where like the skills you're doing are slow, and like in a stunt, for example, it's going to be slower music than a tumble sequence. So, but everything is the same BPM the entire time. So it's really interesting to hear like the different sounds and effects and all that that comes together to make a mix that's exactly the same BPM the entire time while also sounding like five different songs at once.
Oh my God. Star's first podcast appearance. This is so exciting. Hello, nummies.
This is her first podcast appearance. Well, not true.
No, because she didn't
Not
make it
true.
fast
We're
enough.
gonna give you the inside scoop, okay? So there was a part you may have noticed on one
During
of our
Adam's
episodes.
episode.
Yes, the episode with Adam, where my little screen for part of it had a little red mic with a slash through it. And you want to know why that mic had a slash through it? Because
Why?
because this little girl
Yeah, you.
decided,
Looking right at the camera.
right, she decided that she
Star!
was gonna, you better lay
Oh
down.
my God, I
And
love her.
and she decided in the middle of him speaking about his music was going to and would, when I tell you, would not stop, would not stop. I was literally like, okay, y'all, I'm just gonna mute myself, you guys carry on, and I'll just act like I'm like, yes, yes.
Yeah. No,
Oh, it's
literally, it
so
was
good.
so funny because you didn't even say that you were gonna do it. You just did it. And then I look and I'm like, oh, so it's literally just me and Adam talking right now.
Yep. And I was just like, oh my God, so insightful. I was listening. I was still taking in all the info and like all
Yeah,
that
of
stuff,
course.
but I
I
couldn't
had no
respond. I
doubt.
was just like, smile and nod, act like everything's
Smile and
okay.
wave, boys.
Oh my God, that was crazy.
Guys,
So,
we're having so much fun. It is currently past 9:15 p.m. on a Saturday night, the Saturday
correct.
before our first TGL Tuesday of the season, which is so exciting. Um, you want to
Uh,
tell me why we're filming at 9 p.m. on a Saturday night?
okay, we could talk about it.
Let's
Like, talk
talk
about like
about
that's fine. Like, we can talk
let's
about why we're
talk.
okay.
Let's talk about it.
If we're gonna talk and we're gonna spill, like, let's talk and spill. So Jared decided, Jared, okay, Jared has class in the morning, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
He
And
does. He's a very hardworking student, and I'm very proud of him.
and I'm doing that, and then I'm also cheering on a team full time and working a job, not full time, but a lot of hours on top of
It's so
also
much.
doing that.
Yeah.
And I'm reading, which I love to read,
Oh my
but it,
God. Yeah. No, plug your book Instagram later when we're doing all the socials.
yes, and I started a book Instagram over this break, and I also started working on my first novel.
Wait, you haven't told me that. What?
So
Wait,
I
hold on.
literally,
No. Literally stop the presses. What?
so
You cannot just skip over that.
it's very early in the making, so
Jared,
I haven't. This is my special announcement.
shut
Uh,
up.
so this is my special announcement. Surprise!
No, literally, this is a surprise to me.
It's actually a surprise to everyone. I haven't told anybody yet, actually. So,
Wait, no, why am I crying? This is so exciting.
and
Oh my God.
I don't. Okay, so I'm between two names, you
Okay.
guys. It's either gonna be Cheers to Us, but I don't really like
No.
that.
Is it a
I
is
think
it
it's
is
gonna
it a
be
cheer
Cheers.
novel?
It's gonna be Cheers for Us, I think is what it's gonna be called.
Jared, I'm literally in tears. What?
Yeah, so
You're writing a freaking book.
I am. I'm writing a book, and I've wanted to do it forever, but I was like, I can't. I don't have enough time. I don't have enough.
Oh my God.
And then I was like, life is too short. Make time. Now I'm doing
That
it.
part. That
So
part.
I I don't know how long this is gonna take.
That's
So
okay.
if anybody is listening and interested in reading this book,
Me, hi,
you
me.
you might be waiting a while. So
I mean, hey.
I just don't want to make a big deal out of it because, like, it's my first one, so it's
Yeah.
probably going to be bad. So,
That's
which
okay.
is okay,
That's okay.
but it just probably is. So,
Yeah.
and if you know me, I hate being bad at things. I don't care if it's my first time. I want to be good at it.
We
So
know.
so I'm like, if I'm not good at it first hit, I think that's also what's stopped me for so long is like that fear of, oh my God, it's not gonna be good. But like if you look back on anybody that's a famous author whose first book was groundbreaking, probably not many of them. So, I just that's my book spiel
Oh my god,
on
that's
this
literally so
on
exciting.
this music podcast.
No,
But
okay, we're pop culture, baby.
although audiobooks have taken over my life. Can I just say
I've
that?
been I've been listening to the entire The Summer I Returned pretty series.
Clock it. Because literally, audiobooks are phenomenal. I was a big hater of audiobooks. I was one of those people that was like, audiobooks are literally cheating. Like you didn't read that book if you listen to it on an audiobook.
But
And
hey, it's kind of just like listening to a podcast.
it is. And I've literally like completely 180 flipped my opinion. And now I believe that audiobooks are 1000% reading. And I think any reading is good reading. And I think that every reading should be done. Well, all readings.
All reading, yeah. Now,
All,
I'm not going to be mad or upset if your answer is no, but has being on a podcast kind of influenced that thought that it's kind of like listening to a podcast and audiobooks are like a good form of reading?
yes and no. I think I've always listened to podcasts and I always loved listening to the podcasts and I felt more like I was having a conversation with the people that I was listening to when I listened to podcasts. And so I was, I guess, nervous that like I would overestimate how good an audiobook would be compared to the podcast. And I was like, I just know if I read this audiobook, like, or listen to this audiobook, whatever you want to say, I'm gonna think that it's like so boring because I listen to so many podcasts and like it's not gonna be as good as listening to a podcast.
Okay.
So then I listened to the first one and I was like, hey, it's free with this Audible subscription. Let me just go ahead and play it. I already had the book in my bookshelf. So I was like, I might as well just listen while I read. Then it became oh my God, I can continue reading this book while I'm driving. I can continue reading this book while I'm like waiting for my cheer practice to start because I don't have my library and right next to me at the cheer gym. And
Right.
so as I like realized how versatile this makes a reader and like how you can just like always be on the go with your reading and you can always pick up a new book or a book that you want to continue, whatever it may be. I just fell in love with it and it never became, I guess, comparable to a podcast. It's just a totally different thing. And I thought that they were going to be too similar. They have their similarities, obviously, but like when you actually get into it, it's just like so different that, I don't think I even compare them like, oh, this is so much better than listening to a podcast or vice versa. So,
Well, that's a really like thought-provoking way of wording it. So I am glad that we're having this conversation. And it kind of proves that we have quite literally been booked and busy this spring.
books
I've
is
been sitting on that for the last
I,
10 minutes.
I have been
If you
booked.
guys don't know, I love really bad puns. Just general TGL squad knowledge.
Right. And I love books. I've been my
So a book pun is literally the perfect way to describe our friendship.
correct. And I don't know. I've been doing nothing but reading, going to cheer practice, going to school. So it's
Right.
been
Yeah.
just,
But don't
just
don't
that.
think I don't think I'm letting you change the conversation because this all started because you're telling everybody why we're filming a podcast at 9:30 at night on a Saturday.
Oh, so somehow we did get away from that. Okay, so
Somehow. No,
somehow,
a very exciting announcement, and I'm very, very happy and proud of you. But
thank you.
we're filming
I
a podcast at 9:30 on Saturday night, so I need you to
so
tell the people why.
the less proud version of Sarah would describe it as um okay, I did set my alarm.
Yeah, apparently you set like 25 of them.
I literally, if you guys want to see, Hold on. I will.
Yes, I would like to see actually, because oh, it's okay. I have the same. I have the
I will.
same
This
thing.
is what my clock app looks like.
You want to see mine? I'm pulling mine up right now too.
This. This is what my. That's what I look like. So I set my.
Literally.
I do that, but I wake up and it is about 12:30 in the afternoon.
And how many calls and texts from me did you have? I don't know the number that I sent.
Can I be honest? Me,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I I read them and I was like, I don't know if I can cuss, but
You
I was
you you said I effed up. You were like, that's so effed up.
like, I was like, well, damn, I really just I really messed that one up. Awesome, that's
Oh
great.
my god.
But I was like, you know, live and let live or whatever. That's
Yeah, exactly that part. And you know what?
like c'est la vie,
I
you
kind of like
know.
this. I like the energy that we have in the studio today. So
Yeah, I'm like maybe this like crazy Delulu like about ready to go to bed like is the
girl,
energy we need
guys,
to have in
I
this
literally
podcast.
worked like 6 hours today, and Jared had practice, and like this is after all of that. So
Right, right. Practice and then also work, and then I had choreo till midnight last night. So this is,
crazy.
it's something.
Yeah, but I know we talked a little bit about it before, but choreo was good, and you guys have your music, and it rocks. Bode had mentioned last episode that Electric's music this year is going to be a little bit wild, and it was going to double something. So you think those criterias have been met?
I think they have. And if you don't know, my team name is Electric, and we just recently came into a new division. We won worlds in the what's called International Global Division. And
But the last year of it ever. So like y'all own that title forever, which I think you
forever,
mentioned a few times in the
right?
last episode.
Which
But
is, really awesome. But
I know,
we
like even I'm not even on the team, and I'm like, yeah, Electric's the world champs forever.
and so yeah, we just the division was getting retired after this year or this
Last
season.
year.
And so um we were like, well, we got to switch. And the closest to that was International Large Co-ed, where we go against a team named Double O and Wildcats. So
East High Wildcats?
yeah, so
Yeah, exactly. No, I'm
um
just kidding. I love Top Gun and cheer athletics, and obviously, my loyalty lies at Stingrays. But
yes, and it's actually crazy because we each have a senior team in the large co-ed division, senior large co-ed, and
it was basically like baby division. Well, not baby, but like
right, it's
yeah.
like the younger kids in the division, and then international is like the old people. So
So it's at a point where a lot of the kids that were on those teams a few years ago, like the senior teams, are now in that international open division,
yeah,
right?
exactly. So I was on
Pretty
Steel,
crazy.
which is our version of the senior large co-ed team. And so I went against people in my old division who I'm still going against now, which is
That's
crazy.
crazy.
But
I bet that
so
calls for some very friendly, loving competition.
yes, but the way that Bode puts it in our music, it seems
Oh
like
my
we are
god.
coming for everybody's necks. Which I mean, skill wise,
Why not?
we we are a very good team, and we know how confident we are in ourselves, but we don't hate anybody in our division. We love everyone. We have a very good relationship with a lot of athletes that we compete against, and a lot of them are like my really close friends in life. So
That's
when our
really
music comes
special.
out, it seems like we are like literally the Sharks and the Jets from Bring It On. But in real life, like we all love each other. We're all friends. At least I love everybody.
Oh man, you pulled that Bring It On reference all the way out. Like,
Absolutely. Because if you don't know Bring It On, in it to win it, you don't know nothing.
right. I mean, I feel like we've talked about this too. Back in season one, there was a Broadway episode. I feel like we both saw Bring It On the musical, and we've spoken about this.
Yes, I
I loved that show,
love,
of course.
love
It's
Bring
like
It On musical.
a musical theater show with cheerleading in the choreography, y'all. That
I
was
still
mind blowing.
I still listen to One Perfect Moment before every competition.
Hey, that's so cute. I don't even think I knew that.
Yeah, it's that, and then there's World Burn. I love Broadway musical theater. So
I know. I'm so sad that you didn't get to be on that episode, but
those two are like my hype up songs. They like really get me to lock in and focus on
I
why I'm
love.
doing what I'm doing. So
And
yeah,
you know what? They're on stage performing and belting it out, and you're about to go out and, I guess, belt in your own way. Is that a good analogy? I don't even know.
yeah, I mean, like go full throttle, like like no holding back.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's like they go out and they belt, and if you are belting a song, there ain't no holding back. You got to let your voice soar. You can't go for a double twisting layout like you're just like, I guess. Like you gotta boom, you gotta go for it. So yeah. Don't we have some more exciting news, Sarah?
Yeah, we do, and this is kind of involving everyone on our team too. As many of you know, TGL is produced by Setlist Media, which is the digital media company that I started, and Jared was the first member of the team. Very happy that he came on board and was like, "Hey, I want to join this thing." Honestly, like best thing you could have ever done because it made my life. Honestly, like I will say that so genuinely, and like outside of us, like being the best of buddies for the last 10 years, like this has been my dream. Like honestly, like you have no idea. Anyway,
I
before I start crying because
before we all cry, I'm like, who's cutting onions up in here? What the
yeah, so you know that was a thing that happened, which was incredible. And then last October we added 20 other fantastic members to our team who have truly just been the heart and soul of Setlist this past year. And so over the break, we opened applications to add even more aspiring music industry professionals to the team, and we received enough interest, and I already have chills as I'm saying this because I like get chills every time I even think about it. We received enough interest to more than quadruple the current size of our team. By the time this airs on our first TGL Tuesday of the season, which is September 24th, so yeah, this upcoming Tuesday, by that time, we should be just about ready to welcome our new members. But I did want to take a minute to shout out everyone who sent in an application and showed interest because you're making myself and our recruitment team put in some work. So it's truly just been incredible, and I am so grateful and just so full of gratitude, and I just will babble about it forever because I can't believe that this little tiny thing that started as just me making Spotify playlists turned into an online music publication and a developing digital media company and an opportunity for people, very like-minded people, to me and obviously Jared, who has been with me since the beginning of all of this, which is just again, dream come true. Like, just I can't even believe it.
I personally have loved interacting with every single one of our team members. Everybody is just literally the sweetest person that we could have found to contribute something so great to this amazing thing that Sarah has started for us all. I think that everything that people do to work on the podcast, to work on the posts that we all do, and just all the hard work of everybody involved, even if it's just literally listening to me and Sarah complain or rant or just like any conflict or like any problem that arises and we're just like, we need to talk about it now. I'm like, just from those people to the people who just give us some insight to any small thing, you are all appreciated, you're all loved, and you're all so 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 important to everything we do. So
Dude, now I'm crying. Gee.
speaking of all the hard work that Team Setlist puts in, we go to quite a few shows.
We sure do.
And I've heard about some new ones coming up. Do you want to tell everybody
Oh my
else
god.
about that?
Yes. Oh my gosh. Okay. So Kelsey Ballerini is playing Madison Square Garden for one night only. You guys, you guys have to know. Like, Kelsey is my queen. I love her so much. Like, I'll cry actually. I love her so much. But she's always meant so much to me, like even through like high school and college, and then obviously just rolling up the welcome mat was a phenomenon and should have won a Grammy, but I'll keep that to myself. Um, but yeah, she
We'll
has a new
get to
album.
award shows later, you know.
Yeah, no, we have a couple things about award shows that we want to talk about, but she has a new album coming out in October. It's called Patterns, and she's playing an album release show at MSG, and it's her first show at the Garden. And you guys also know that I have a very nostalgic history with them. I worked there for a couple of years. In like events and with guest services, so that was like really cool. And so yeah, this is actually going to be my first time going back to an event at MSG since I worked there, which is kind of wild. I have not been there in almost a year. um yeah, I know, long time.
And I'm like, it's already a year. That's
I
crazy.
know, October, literally the beginning of October. Yeah,
Wow.
I know.
Woo!
Time flies.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Exactly. You know what? Yeah, this year has been a lot of fun. Like obviously there's been some things that have not, highest of highs, and there have been some lows, but
Yeah,
we've made it through. Um,
we're here.
and exactly, going back to the point at hand, Kelsey Ballerini is playing Madison Square Garden, and I'm going, and I'm excited. And she's like already said that she's playing the whole new album top to bottom, and that she's gonna do like 35 minutes of like a time machine, which is like all of her like old hits and a lot of Rolling Up the Welcome Mat. And I'm really excited because I just like Legends in the Garden is gonna go crazy, and
Yeah.
I cannot wait. And I'm going with some of my girlfriends, Heaven and Julia and Hales. One of my friends named Haley, but I have a lot of friends named Haley, so I call her Hales. Um, so yeah, I'm very excited to see her, especially with all three of them. And yeah, so that's the show that I'm going to, and then I don't know if you are going. I don't think you're going, but I think Billie Eilish announced for her Atlanta shows, right?
Yes. Yes. Billie Eilish announced her tour shortly after her album came out, and she has two Atlanta shows this year, which is just incredible. However, I am still working on if I can go. There's
Okay,
a cheer competition that weekend.
got it, got it.
So there's what we call Circus Jam, which is just one of our competitions. And then I just have practice on Sunday,
Mm.
and our practice goes until 8:30. So can't go to
Oh,
the Sunday show.
yeah.
I might be able to go to Saturday show depending on when we perform. I
Okay.
It's up in the air.
And also,
So
like, Circus Jam is like a Stingray thing, right? It's not like a,
yeah.
yeah.
So we'll see, I guess.
I'm
I
gonna keep my fingers crossed for you because I know that
and
she
I
announced her openers for that show, and
yes.
Toa Bird is one of them.
Hmm.
That's really exciting because we've covered Toa. We did a press conference with her for 1824, and that's up still, obviously. Um, and yeah, I just think it's really cool that we're seeing some of the artists that we've been able to work with either through our partnership with them or otherwise go out and do these really big shows and have a lot of success. So it's really exciting, and I hope you get to go.
Yeah. And then there is the Sweat Tour
Oh
for
my gosh.
XCX and Troy Sivan, who are
Yeah, booked, busy, and brat. That's how our summer was.
booked, busy, and brat, because it was definitely a brat girl summer. It has been
Even in
wild.
our finale, we were like, it's TGL and it's the same, but it's not,
Right.
so it's not. So we very much were influenced by having a brat summer.
Yes, I am hoping to go to that. I
Okay.
still don't, again, I don't know if I'll be going to that. That's still up in the air. There is also
Yeah.
Sabrina Carpenter's tour. Um,
Don't, girl. I I need to. get tickets to that. I need to figure that out because
I absolutely need tickets, but my problem is it's a Tuesday, so my teams practice. However, I am trying to request off.
okay.
If I get
Literally, if
off,
you get off, I'll come down and I'll go with you because
I must.
I feel like we need to see Sabrina together.
I am obsessed with Sabrina Carpenter. I have
Oh
been
my God.
obsessed
I literally since Girl Meets World,
since Girl Meets World is
we have
exactly what
loved
I was gonna say.
Sabrina.
Yes.
We are Maya Heart truthers, I
Yeah.
guess. Is that a thing? I don't know. But
And if it's not, we made it
we're
up.
gonna make
Like, so
no,
period.
but I've always
Um,
loved her, and I think it's so cool that a very short and sweet girly is finding lots of success because she's short queens.
yes,
You know, you guys.
exactly.
I know you guys can't tell from us sitting on a computer screen. I might be a little short.
Yeah, I might be like a foot and a half taller than Sarah, but
Might
and
be.
that's fine. That's fine,
Might
you guys.
be.
It's fine if she's under 5 foot and I'm over 6 foot, and that's okay.
You know what? You know what? I don't hate it.
Because she's short and sweet, and I'm tall and mean. So
No, literally, black cat, golden retriever.
correct. Like,
No, guys, literally, like every like I don't know what is it yin and yang is that what it is? Like
yeah,
okay, literally that's us because literally water sign, fire sign,
right.
black cat, golden retriever, like very much we are very
All of
much
them that you can think of,
two halves
that's
of the same hole. You can tell we have zero fun in any part of doing life together.
like I hate it. So actually,
You actually dislike when I come
yeah,
to and you wish
right.
that
Like
I
this is
never
actually
showed up.
right. This is actually like
What are you doing here? Who are you?
right. This is like my 2 weeks notice, and I'm
I
handing
would
you my
cry.
termination of friendship.
Do
So
you understand how terribly I would spiral if you were serious?
and you know what? This is my, just like my novel announcement, this is that announcement. So goodbye. No, I'm
Dude.
just
No,
clearly I'm
I
kidding.
honestly
We're
you
just
don't
like
really
stuck.
have much of a choice. No.
Right. There is no choice.
There
Like,
is no choice. You've been stuck with me for too long now.
right, exactly. It's been this long. Like I might as well carry it out for
I
another
know.
six decades. Like,
Across and might I add, like across far guys, he used to live 30 minutes from me. Do you understand how far Georgia is from New York?
yeah, we're almost the full days of travel away from each other now.
Thank
So
God flights are fast.
correct. Very correct. Um,
Because I catch a flight. If there's one thing about me, I'm gonna catch a flight to Georgia.
except she catches flights and feelings. I don't catch no feelings. But if there's any cute gays that watch this podcast, let me know. Everybody knows my Instagram. We'll get there later. Like, just finish the rest of the podcast and you'll get my socials later. Like, I promise. Okay.
I cannot with you. But yeah, no, it has been a single summer. It has been
Single summer.
single
Single
more than
life.
a season.
Single life. Single eternity. But we back to the main point.
Where did this go? How did we get here?
We want to go see Sabrina Carpenter.
Yes.
And speaking of Sabrina,
I've been singing bedchem for like 3 weeks.
oh my god, it's so insane. Her lyricism,
Like a
a,
queen.
a,
Queen.
and not just on that song. When she did Sharpest Tool, and she did like that 5-line run where it was like we
Yeah.
were going left, we were going right, then you took a left me with a lot of to second guess,
Oh,
guess wasted another year. Like that's one of my favorite things ever. When you pick up from the I love that. I guess
I
not.
mean, yeah.
It's like
Honestly, I think. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
okay. It's one of my favorite things in lyrics to do, like that little
Yeah.
pick up, leave off, pick up. So
And I think that a lot of people started paying attention to Sabrina's lyrics after Nonsense and how she literally would write a new outro for every single show on her tour.
right, which is a lot
So
of hard work, Sabrina.
literally,
We see you, girl. That's a lot of work.
literally. So I think that people had a lot of expectations for her lyricism, and a girly delivered.
Signed, sealed, delivered, handwritten, dropped it off for you, delivered. Didn't even use
Real.
post office.
Literally.
She ate.
I know. And you know another thing about, I know we're talking about Sabrina so much, but like it's okay.
But it's fine because she just delivered one of the best albums ever. So
Literally. And on top of that, like I don't think we did talk about this briefly. Neither one of us watched the VMAs this year, but
yes,
her performance was literally it was like she was in her own concert,
yes,
honestly.
she will go
I mean,
down as one of those like iconic VMA performances. Like there's Lady Gaga's Paparazzi,
right.
and there is Katy Perry's I know a place. Sing it. You
Yes.
know, like
Oh my gosh.
there's all those moments that you remember from the like there's so many iconic VMA moments.
Exactly.
Mark my words,
This year,
that's going down in it.
absolutely. This year, I've literally only seen two of the performances, Sabrina's and I've seen Benson Boone's, and I love Benson. Don't get like, well, we could talk about Benson and how Daniel Sevey is on his tour, like, because you know, like I love Daniel. Obviously, he's right behind me. But literally, I love Benson. Like, also the way that he like incorporates like his flips into
Yes.
performances. You know, as fellow flippers, we gotta appreciate it. But like
Right.
Benson and Sabrina were the only two performances that I saw this year, and that might catch some heat, but like those for me, those are the two.
Yeah. I saw Chapel Roan's as well.
Okay.
I
I
did
did
see
see
her,
photos. I did see photos of Chapels, but
mhm,
I didn't see the full performance.
which her recent success has been blowing up. And then
There,
also
I feel like we could do a whole episode on her.
correct because her recent
Oh,
comments that are very controversial and people's opinions, which personally for me, I think I think if a singer wants the spotlight, they should have it. And if they don't, people can respect that too. I don't know why it has to be one or the other, but
no, literally, like I'm trying to think. There's so many people who will either go by a stage name or something, and like you know, even though people know them and know them as that stage name, like they don't know the person. Like you can know Lady Gaga, but you don't really. I mean, you know, even though artists can be like are you know typically genuine, you can know Lady Gaga, but you're not gonna know Stephanie Chapel Roan. Like
yeah, literally.
literally, literally, we're talking about Chapel. I could even use her as our own example, but you know, there were some things that happened at the VMAs, and we were also talking about you know some other comments that she said, maybe something about a Grammy, but you know, with all this award show talk,
Yes.
what like we actually got to talking about this over the break, and I was like, wait, we need to pause on this until we film the podcast because guys, we're gonna debate. we
We are. We're gonna
we're
debate
gonna debate
live and whatever the word is. Live and I want well,
not
live
in
and in
person.
person. Live and online. We are
I
going
wish it
to
were in
debate.
person.
Okay.
Can we like rent a studio next season?
Right. We might need to. That would be like cute.
No, I know. So well, we're gonna talk about this after because that would involve
Yes.
logistics, including potentially somebody moving somewhere. But
Right. Right.
so we have many things to discuss, but
Right. But we'll get there.
we'll get there. We got a whole season to get there.
Right. Exactly.
We have a whole season to get there. Literally a podcast season, a cheer season, and you need to graduate.
I need to. It's
You
time.
need, my friend.
It's time.
I know.
It's time. We are going to debate
We're debating because
specifically.
what here's my thing, and I said this earlier. it's not a for and against thing because I don't like being against him. I don't like it. It gives me bad feelings inside. So we're just gonna have a very friendly debate on different viewpoints of the topic of fan base voting because we were talking about the VMAs and we were like, oh yeah, like fan base voting, and then that one over there was like, I don't like fan base voting that much. I'm like, well, okay, why? And I'm like, wait, no, stop, don't tell me, write it down. We're going to talk about it. So now
Right.
we're going to talk about it.
And also, if this is something that you like and you are enjoying us doing like a little debate segment, let us know. And maybe we can make it like a regular thing where me and
No,
Sarah talk
literally.
about
If you have
our.
something that you want us to like actually like discuss in this kind of debatey style, like we're, we, as you can tell, we yap a lot. Like we are yappers to our core. So we'll do it, honestly. Obviously keeping it within, music, arts, entertainment, pop culture, but other than that, you can throw some suggestions at us and we would love to hear them. But with that being said, do you want to give like your opening statement? Because like, why are you not feeling the fan voting?
Essentially, I am not for, or I guess maybe just not the biggest fan of fan based voting. Is I feel like a big fan base does not necessarily or automatically equal quality of music. I think that there was specifically a debate on whether or not music video of the year should go to Ariana Grande or Taylor Swift.
Oh, the word name dropping. We're getting into this. Okay.
We are. And that's just my specific.
Arianator 50s, please don't come for us.
No, I'm not saying which one I am for or against. I
I
had
think
an
they're both incredible female artists, so I'm just
both incredible, both did their thing with the music videos. However, it was highly debated on social media which one deserved the win. We all saw which one got the win. Now, obviously there was backlash on that decision because people didn't feel like she deserved it, or people didn't feel like that was the better quality music video. We all know that Taylor Swift has a huge fan base, and she didn't get that out of nowhere. Obviously, her music has to be of some quality to gain a enormous fan base.
yeah.
There are also people who are just as amazing who don't have that fan base. And I think that they could easily deserve that title of whatever the award is for just as much as someone as big as Taylor Swift, not just her, but anyone as big as Taylor Swift also deserves, but they will never get to that point because they never have that fan base of Taylor Swift if it's based off fan base voting. So that is my first, really reason. Also, I believe that the timeline of when music comes out versus what time the award show is really affects how many votes you're going to get. I mean, we see albums get released right before the shows, and then it's like, oh my gosh, this album's so good, I'm gonna like hype it up because my favorite artist just put out the best album. And then you really digest that album and you're like, okay, maybe not just album, song, music video, whatever it may be, you digest that piece of work and you're like, wait, okay, there's this and that to critique, and you're like, maybe something else deserved it because you were just so hyped that they put it out that you're like, oh my god, I'm gonna vote for this. Da, 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 da. So that's my main points of why I feel like fan base voting is just a little biased.
Okay. I hear where you're coming from. I think that specifically in relation to your timeline
Mhm.
point, that could play into the strategy of the artist and their team for voting.
True.
It really like because it really can depend on that. I can completely see where you're like, oh my gosh, this artist just released a new album, song, music video, whatever they release. However, all the artists are aware of the timeline of when the award ceremonies are. Any one of them could be like, hey, I'm putting out a new album or a new anything that is right in line with when, the submissions for this awards show closes, and it's going to be the freshest thing. Like, any artist can do that. And I think it's especially intriguing when artists put things out at similar times, especially right as it gets to awards season.
Hmm.
I think that's pretty cool. And then also, you were talking about like social media following, specifically with Ariana. She doesn't have a small fan base, but
No.
no, like, I do see where you're going from. Obviously, Taylor Swift. The only way I can describe her is she is Taylor Swift, which, you know, I
Correct.
I have very much, like, throughout the Eras tour, come back into my Swiftie era.
Yeah.
Obviously when I was younger, I was very much into it, and the re-records have really brought me back. I think obviously the nostalgia factor, but her new music too, Midnight's, Torture Poets Department, really, like, I got back into her because the re-records, but the new music, I love it, and I truly think that she is a phenomenal woman in music, that, like, just as a business
Yeah.
music.
Yes.
So whether it is specifically Taylor that we're talking about or any other artist, like, that timeline definitely can affect things, but that timeline is also available to every artist and their team who's going to be vying for those awards.
Yeah. And I totally agree with that point because, you know, part of, I guess, winning a fan base voting award is going to be your publicity, your um like your marketing, your like
1000%.
events, 100%. That's all going to go into play. And I feel like an artist that wants to win those awards is going to play to those strengths, and they're going to choose to release an album or a song or a music video close to that so
Oh,
that they can get more
absolutely.
hype. That's smart.
Yeah.
I just feel like at that point, if everybody's just going to do that stuff to hopefully win, then, you know, like, is the award for best song really the best song if only the fans are going to vote on it?
I mean, yeah, that it's definitely a viewpoint, which is why there are, a lot of different award shows, like, Kids Teen People's Choice. The VMAs are obviously fan based, and then you have, you know, the Recording Academy, the Grammy Awards. So there are different criteria for that, and I think that they're marketed very differently for,
Yeah.
Grammy, like, nomination consideration
Yeah.
versus fan based voting. But what I really love about fan based voting is that it gives the fans a voice, because fans are very passionate. You are a fan, you know that. Like, everybody who is a fan of music is extraordinarily passionate. We're just not all credentialed to be on the Grammy committee at the Recording
Right.
Academy. So it gives fans a voice, and it also, generates fan engagement for the award shows. It really allows them. Obviously, back in the day, you would go on the show's website and cast your votes there, but for the VMAs this year, they were using the polls on Instagram, and I'm sure they've done that many years in the past. But it really utilizes web and social media in away during this streaming age. Before, it was, you go on the website and vote, and then you watch the award show on cable. Now they're like streaming nomination announcements, and they're like streaming the award shows and using social media to really get there and truly giving fans a voice. And I think that that's what those award shows, those fan-based voting award shows, are truly about. And maybe the quality of music and the big fan base, they definitely are in
Yeah.
tandem a lot of the time. But, obviously, to your point, the timeline of the music coming out can definitely affect it. And, I think it is true that newer music is more likely to get the fan base votes. But at the end of the day, maybe that's what those are about. And, also at the end of the day, a fan voted award can really mean as much, sometimes more, than a Grammy. because it's the people that are supporting them saying, we got your back and we're going to publicly push your votes above every other artist in this category because we think that you're like,
Yeah.
the most, I don't want to say the most deserving, but like, the, or like the most qualified or anything like that, but like, the fans are like, hey, we really love this. And that's the thing. Every artist's fan base is going to think that they're the best. And at the end
Yeah.
of the day, that's just it. And being in multiple fan bases is so difficult when you have a certain amount of votes. Like, trust
Yeah.
me, I have really struggled in the past when I've like participated
I
in
agree.
fan voting. I'm like,
I
oh my gosh, what do I do? But
I feel that. I have definitely struggled with like how do I differentiate my votes? Like do I decide who I think is better and do I give like 15 votes to, Billie Eilish, and this is just an example. Do I give 15 votes to Billie Eilish and 5 for Ariana Grande if I think that Billie Eilish had the better song, or do I give them even because I love them both and I think that they're both amazing?
oh,
And so I think
I've
that
gone through that so many times myself. Like,
yeah, and I think that there is a sense of, like wanting to vote for the quality. Like you want to vote for what you think is the best song.
right.
Yeah,
And the beauty is not everyone thinks that the same song is the best song, and that's what makes
exactly.
it, you know.
Which I do think is an advantage of fan-based voting. Fan-based voting is that like you have so many different opinions. And while the Recording Academy is obviously very qualified to determine the quality of music, it is only a certain amount of people who make that choice. And you never know. Some people think that their opinions are outdated, classic, and like they don't agree with some of the decisions that the Recording Academy makes. And some of them can be valid, those arguments. Some of them are a little outrageous. And just because their favorite artist didn't win, which, understandable. But I think that it depends also on the award. So, like a VMA is coming from MTV and is literally called a video music.
Music award.
So I think that maybe I that is going to be different than a People's Choice Award. So, a People's Choice Award, we clearly know that if you win that,
You are
you
the people's
you
choice.
right, you won that based off of
The people.
some like your fans wanted you to win and you have the most fans and you have, your fans agree that your music was quality when you put it out and all that good stuff. A VMA, you know, maybe we could do like a mix of both. Like you get a Moon Man because MTV thought you were awesome and the people think you're awesome. You know,
Honestly, let's honestly, hey, MTV, if you're watching this,
right? Like
talk to us. We want to talk to y'all. So
right. We would love to tell your people to call my people. My people is right here. Her name's Sarah.
hello.
So
I love
literally,
being your
I
people.
think that that would be an awesome solution, maybe just for one specific example, but also for like a bunch of different award shows, is especially if you're coming from, like you're a music company. Like MTV is, at the end of the day, a music company.
Yeah, absolutely.
So like for them to just give out their awards only based on the opinion of fans seems a little silly in my opinion, because you're a music company and you're going to have no say in who gets your awards at all. You want just the fans to decide. I think that's a little, I mean, for us, if Setlist ever grows to a point where we can hand out awards and be seen on the
I mean,
same
hey,
of a
I was
People's
just about to
Choice,
say, it sounds like you got some ideas there, Bubs.
as a People's Choice or a VMA, I think that I wouldn't want the fans to have no say, but I also wouldn't want to have no say. So I think
1,000%.
combining the both would be an amazing solution to some of these fan based voting award shows. So
We are gonna have more conversations about this because this is
yeah, we
very
must.
interesting to me. So who knows? Maybe you guys will see some kind of like set list award maybe on like our Instagram or something.
Yeah.
Like just to start.
Just a little like
Maybe
graphic.
one day whatever we come up with as a little Instagram story post will turn into a full award show someday. Just dreaming big out here.
Yeah, always dreaming big.
Yeah, guys, you have no idea what we're planning for. Like, I'm very excited, and obviously I'm excited to start Jared's first official full season of TGL.
So exciting.
Guys, like, I'm like, you see me beaming. I'm just so happy. Not to stir the pot, but since we're talking and we said let's talk, I am very happy with where we're at right now.
Yes. I'm also very happy that I get this opportunity. I think that this is, just
This is the way
just
things
to
should be.
be able to get out on a public platform and talk about the things that you love is a privilege on its own. And to be able to do that with like people that you love so much, I think it's just how could you not have fun?
Right, guys, like there's so much cut out of this already that's already being put in the work for a blooper reel for season 2.
So much. We are on hour 2.
Hour 2, and there's probably gonna be, I don't know, like an hour and a half of it in this episode.
Right.
Like, guys, it's just gonna be so fun. And I know I can speak for both of us when I say that we're just excited that you're here and growing with us. And we're gonna look back at this in a year's time when we're on season 3, but we're not gonna get too far ahead of ourselves. I know season 3, I just got chills. But like we're not gonna get too far ahead of ourselves because right now, dynamic duo season 2, like we're very happy where we are.
Right.
But it's going to be a lot of fun, and we're really looking forward to just the growth that I know we're going to have this season. And you know it's going to be good, and I'm really excited.
Thank you all for joining in and watching the Guest List podcast season premiere of season 2. I can't wait to be with you guys full time and see you all so, so, so much more.
It's going to be the best ever. As you guys know, we put out episodes monthly, so we will see you next month. But if you want more from me, at least, I'm going to be on the A Little Jaded podcast from Jaded Productions with my friends Jade and Joanna. And if Joanna sounds familiar, you guys might remember her from our season 1 February episode, which is really exciting. She came on and she talked about her experiences in Grammy U and at the Recording Academy and just all the amazing things that she's done. So to be asked over there was really special, and I really enjoyed the conversation. That is coming out in 3 days when this gets put online. Like when we publish, 3 days later, you guys get my episode of A Little Jaded. So on September 27th. It's really exciting. And if that's not enough, you guys can find all of our socials over at Setlist Media on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. And you can also find our podcast Instagram at TGL Pod. Jerry, you got anything you wanna send us off with?
You can find my new
Oh yes! Oh my gosh,
Bookstagram
your
account.
books. Yes. Okay.
You can find my new Bookstagram account at Jared Jared Reads Reads.
That's so
Um, I can't wait to also share my love for reading and literature and specifically romance with all of you guys. So if you love reading just as much as you love music and pop culture, then go and follow my journey there. I can't wait to start that off.
Are you gonna put like updates about the book you're writing on there?
Yeah, I'm going to post updates about the book I'm writing, all the books that I'm reading. Um, I'm hoping to do like vlog style videos, what I read in the month, book reviews, anything that you can think of that has to do with reading, writing, literature. I'm going to post it there.
That
So,
is so like literally this is so exciting. Like
yeah,
I'm literally like freaking out for you. This is like obviously, as you guys saw earlier in the episode, this was a surprise to me too. I did not know he was gonna say anything about writing a freaking book. Like, dude, I know you've been like that's like been your dream for so.
Yeah, that's been like long-term goal for I don't even know how long, probably since I graduated high school. Um,
Yeah.
but I've been
I
working.
remember when you started talking about that.
Yes, I remember I've been working on a poetry collection book for some time. That's been like that's been like years old. I've just written random poems, put them together, and they're in a folder. So whenever that comes to fruition, that'll come. But actually working on a novel, this is my first time doing that, and I can't wait to finish it. Hopefully, you never
You,
know. But
you got it.
however long that may take, I will finish it.
No, you like uh, literally I'm like speechless. This is so exciting. Um Obviously today was just a conglomeration of us catching up with each other and with you guys, even though we talk enough, but like just
Yeah.
in the podcast setting catching up. And yeah, we are very excited to continue all of our conversations in just music, pop culture, and who knows what else. Obviously from this episode we have a lot to say. But yeah, until next month, we will see you guys soon.
Bye, guys.